Hello, it's Stitching Joanne here on Flosstube, and I had a good month of finishes, so I've got a lot to show, well, a lot of different things. So I've got some cross stitch, I've got some knitting, I've got some haul, and I've got some books, and so let's go. So first of all, my cross stitch, I got 3 sort of finishes this month. I only stitched for 9 days this month. I did 9 days cross stitch and 10 days knitting, and like had a week off in the middle. I think I lost my crafty bug. So the first thing I worked on was Twilight Silhouette by Dimensions, and I gotta finish. So I finished it took me 4 days to finish the stitching and the back stitching and the blending filament. I hate that. And then I tried to record how I wash it. So I was recording when I was washing it, but when I went to play the video back, it said something like no video cannot be played or something. So I'm afraid I don't have that. But so I finished it and I FFO'd it, and here it is. I worked out the best way to not get glare is to put this on my forehead. Don't you love it? If I get close, all you can see is yourself. I mean, myself. So go that way, I've got window. Try and zoom in a bit on the stars. So they were French knots in like a million strands. So I learnt the colonial knot and did that instead, and that was much easier with the multiple strands. Go across here, and the blending filament was around like the shadow, well, the silhouette fairy dust. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see what you can see. And yeah, I just love these stars. Because when I washed it, the water went very slightly blue, and I thought, oh no, but actually the white parts have come out really well. So this is just in a frame from Wilko's. The back is like this, with these like springy things. And it took me forever to frame this, because I tried the lacing method one way, and then I watched Tara C's video and like put like some sulky sliver around the edge, so that I knew that that's the edge that had to match up with the mat board, because I've like stretched it over mat board, and that was such a help. So I used quilting clips to like stretch and clip it all around the edges first before I did the lacing. So I'll put a picture of that here. And then I started lacing it from the middle outwards, because I knew I needed the middles to meet, like to be in the middle of the mat board. And I didn't think about how to tie the ends off, so there's only like so much length of thread you can use. So I just ended up with it would like go across like 3 times, and then there'd be like a loose end, and then I'd start again, tying it on and doing a bit more, and there'd be a loose end. So I did all that, and then thought, I don't know how to tie these ends off. And so I watched a different lacing video, quite an old lacing video, and the lady, like when she'd finished the end of her thread, she then just tied the next bit onto that thread and carried on, and then she showed you like how to tie it at the end, and to like get your helper to put the finger on the thread at the end while she tie it off. So I did that. So the whole process of lacing took me about 3 or 4 days. So that was hell. And I actually pulled the lacing too tight, and it made it like bow. So I'll put a picture of that here. But because I was still able to like flatten it like on the table, so I thought it'd be fine when it goes in the frame, and it is. So there it is. Now if anyone wants to buy this kit, stop wiggling, you might want to try and soften the fabric first, or get a different piece of fabric altogether, because that was like the worst thing about this kit. I started it in 2014, finished in 2016. Now, I didn't run out of any colours. I still have bits of all the threads left. I mean, they went a bit overkill on black. Look how much black there is left. So, what I'm going to do is, wait for it, I'm going to do a giveaway for this chart and the leftover threads. You'll need new threads to finish it, but there isn't enough to finish it. But because if I give you the leftover ones, then you'll be able to match them to DMC or Anchor or whatever your thread of choice. Obviously the chart isn't marked at all because I had a working copy. I'm going to save the actual giveaway for another video because I haven't worked it out yet. Other than, you know, it'd be international. So that's that. Do I have anything else to say about that one? I don't think I do. I'm so glad that's over with, because I think that was my oldest whip. So I finished my oldest whip. So what next? Next I worked on my Heaven and Earth designs, which, as you know, is Mini Watching It Fly by Cindy Nielsen, which I started in December 2014. And I finished the second row. So here it is. A bit bright in here, but you can see I finished this part. Because the last time I showed you, I had I'd done one boob, but I'd only just started the other boob, and then I just did all this dark grey bit, because I was in the taller stitches, and so it was easier to get a high number of stitches with that. So yeah, I basically finished this whole page, and then like the last page is just a few columns. She's awesome. So yeah, and you obviously can see where arm's gonna go. So I just have the bottom row left. Like, this is the bottom. So my goal is to finish this by the end of the year, which is scary. But hopefully, like, now there's going to be less hair, like there'll be some confetti in her arms, but then hopefully the rest of it will be quite straightforward and quite quick. So that is that one. The final piece that I worked on was the country calendar, which I'm doing for the cross stitch finish line monthly month sales. I think it's cross stitch finish line, I always forget. And that's from Creative Cross Stitch magazine number 12. And so obviously it was August, so I did August. And here it is. Here is August. It was nice to get a different colour in. I actually ran out of one of the colours, so I had to order it and wait, which was a tad annoying. But I've done it now. There were no new special stitches in this one, so I made it quicker. I think I did it in 3 days. I did most of it whilst in a hangout with Bonnie. So they're poppies. It's just some lazy daisies there and French knots in the flowers. So yeah, that's it so far altogether. So that's it for cross stitch. So that was 3 kind of finishes, because I finished the fairy silhouette altogether and FFO'd it. I finished a row and a page, I suppose, on my Haid, and I finished the August block on the calendar. So next up is knitting. Right, so I got my wool for the crochet cardigan and told myself I'm not allowed to start that until I finish the body on my orange lace cardigan. So I did. I just finished it yesterday and it took me 10 days to finish. So here it is. I put a stitch mark somewhere. I bet you can see it. Oh, there it is. So that stitch marker there, this green thing, is where I was last time I showed you, and so that's how much progress I made down here. The pattern called for just finishing the lace here, but on me that meant that the lace ended on my waist, and in the picture in the book the lace finishes on her hips, so I added an extra 15 rows of the pattern there. It's hard to see just when it's like hanging around. I don't know if you'll be able to see if I put it on. So I wish I wasn't sitting on the bed now, because I'd be able to get up and show you. So here it is. So the lace ends just sort of where my hips are, and then it's just a 2x2 rib for the rest of it till sort of where my thigh bone starts, I suppose. Just where my butt starts. So that is that. So yeah, I'm sure I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten it. So like the next thing to do would be the sleeves. So I've got to put these stitches back on the needle and pick some up from under here, and then go round till I have a sleeve. And then I have to do it all over again on the other side. And then I have to do the button band and round the top and things. So it's still going to take me a pretty long time to finish. But I'm so glad that I reached my goal of finishing, see, another one, finishing the body. So that's good. So next up is some stitchy haul. Now I had this amazing score at the charity shop. I had a tip off that a load of cross stitch stuff had come in, and I went and there was a stack of Mirabilias. Now I'm not going to show them to you in this video, but I'm going to show you how big the stack is. There are 28 Mirabilias in here. I will show them you in another video because I know my friend wants to know which ones I got. Anyway, so I'll do that. But the other things I got were Firefly Fairies. Someone said this is lavender and lace, but mine says it's told in a garden, so I don't know. But I love it. Someone else is stitching it, if I've been watching. Is it Dana, the obsessed stitcher or something? Yes, love it. And the other thing I got was Spirit Dancer by Butternut Road. She's pretty. So that was two of the non-Mirabilia charts, and then I got two bags of DMC. I've not counted them yet, but I've like separated them into bluey, greeny, pink, and greeny, browny, orangey, yellowy, greyy. So it's going to take me a long time to put these in Flossway bags and label them. There were a couple of old DMC in there actually, and I had to ask whether they were real or not because I had no idea whether they were the old label or just like fake. So that's those. And I also got this other bag of floss, which I think it is Anchor. I did look it up because it doesn't say Anchor on it, but it does have an anchor on it. You see, and it says Moulin stranded, and then it says stick twist Moulin. So I googled it and everything was coming up Anchor, stick twist, Moulin, so I'm assuming it's just old Anchor, which is fine because a lot of things like magazine things will list the Anchor colours, so and I already have half a box of Anchor, so that's all good. So that's my flossy floss. So I was on 998 subscribers for ages, and now I'm over 1,000. And since I've got 1,000, the numbers have gone up quite quick. I'm at like 1,030 or something, maybe a bit less. So I'm wondering whether, like, if you get 1,000 subscribers, whether your videos pop up as suggested or whatever more often. I don't know, but that's awesome. So as well as the Twilight Silhouette as giveaway, I'm going to give away a Mirabilia chart as well, Fairy Moon. But again, I'm not going to do it in this video because I'm not prepared. So watch out for that. And I also missed my 50th video like a few videos back. So that's like loads of videos. I don't feel like I've made 50 videos, but apparently I did. So the last thing, I have my last two finishes are books. So the first book I read in August was The Girl on the Train. I read this for book club and I thought it was good. Although, like, the main character, it seemed a bit like, why would she do that, sort of thing. But I guess I would recommend it. People at book club liked it, which I was surprised at because they don't normally read chart fiction. So that's that. And then the second book I read was The Examined Life, which is non-fiction, and it's about this doctor. He's a psychoanalyst, and it's just like stories about his different clients, and you know, oh, they've come in and say this, and I realised it was because, you know, this happened to them as a kid or whatever. But it only took me a few days to read because each bit is only, let me see, like 5 pages long. So, and the writing's quite big, double line space. I think it's interesting to somebody that's interested in psychology but doesn't know much about it, because for me, I'm quite into psychology, so like I'd heard some of it already, sort of thing. But he practices in London, or he did. It was, I'm sure it was, yes, Sunday Times bestseller, The Examined Life. So that's it for me for August. I think I was going, last time I spoke to you, I was going to Bonnie's. So we went and we had a great time, and we just like sat in the kitchen and looked at all her whips, and there's a lot of whips, and like everything she kitted up, and then I helped her place her French knots on her tree of stitches. Yeah, and then we like had food and talked about stitching even more, probably. I think I was there for about 8 hours, and then we thought we'd better go and check in at our hotel in London, otherwise they might think we weren't coming. So we went there, but by the time we got there at like 9:30, the car park was full, so we had to like go in and ask what the hell we're supposed to do, and we had to go and park on the side street somewhere. Then we had to get up early in the morning to move the car off the side street into the car park. Yeah, it was a good trip. Went to Buckingham Palace on the first day. Like there's like an art gallery, and then we went to like the bit where they keep all the carriages and the horses, but like there were only 2 horses there because the other horses were on holiday. But all the carriages were cool, and then we went to the staterooms, which is like where they have state occasions, I suppose. I don't know, but they had the exhibition of all like the Queen's clothing, so you couldn't really see the rooms because it was just like all these displays of clothes with like they were like raised up on platforms, and then they had like information boards behind them, so you couldn't see a right lot. That was good. That was a good day, but very tiring, and my legs were killing. And second day we got the bus into London, and what did we do? We went to the National Portrait Gallery, and I was just so tired. That was good. I like portraits. Yeah, and then on Wednesday I was so tired. We were supposed to go to Kew Gardens, but I couldn't face walking around Kew Gardens, so we went. We came back up to Nottingham, but we went to Oxford and looked around, like the outside of some of the university buildings there, and kind of they were a bit like Hogwarts. Yeah, and went down to like the little river that runs next to it. So yeah, and then we came home to Nottingham, and then I had the rest of the week off. So that's it really. So keep your eyes peeled for my giveaways and my memorabilia haul, although I could do it like a memorabilia parade, like Mackenzie and Jessie Marie and someone else. Was it Tracy P? Like they did, because seeing as they are now mine, it's just like showing you what I've got really, rather than what I bought, because well, they were below retail price, but they weren't. But I still spent a lot of money because obviously there were 28 of those. So I think there was only about 8 that I don't want to do. So that's 20 memorabilias I've got planned for the rest of my life. I might be getting to that stash beyond life expectancy, whatever it's called, Sable stash. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in those videos just mentioned. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting. I like your comments, I reply to every comment. So thank you, and see you soon.